Welcome back to American Sunrise. I am Emily Finn, filling in today for Dr. Gina. Thanks so much for joining us this morning. We invite you to join the conversation on Getter and Rumble. Time now to take the political pulse of America. In the beat today, a surprising show of support for President Trump from a Senate Democrat. John Fetterman is defending Trump's new $200 million White House ballroom renovation, calling it tasteful and fitting for the people's house. The remodel includes modern security upgrades, event lighting, and high-end finishes. Critics on the left have been calling it extravagant, but Fetterman isn't buying the outrage. He says Trump isn't gold-plating the presidency, he's simply restoring American pride. The remarks mark a clear break from his party and show how even some Democrats are starting to read the room differently ahead of 2026. For a quick discussion, let's bring in Terrence Bates and David Brody. You know, guys, the more and more I hear from Fetterman, the more and more I'm thinking he's going to switch parties to be a Republican.
Well,
you want to take a wager on that?
Yeah.
I'm going to put some money on that?
Yeah, he's good on ballrooms in Israel. And he's good. That's about it. No, there's been a couple other things. But he's 95% Democrat, so let's not get fooled here.
I think he's seeing the light. He's getting the red pill, if you will, David.
All right. Well, yeah, maybe it's a light pink. That's fine. We'll give him something. Okay. We'll give him something. But here's the thing: that ballroom, $200 billion. What's the problem here? This is not taxpayer money at stake.
Right.
This is Trump and his billionaire buddies saying, hey, let's do something nice for the American people. Well, why would you have a problem with that? Oh, I know. Cue the TDS prescription medication. That's the answer, T. Bates.
No, agreed. If this thing doesn't cost the American people anything and it's a legacy, and that's the other thing, David, a lot of these people who are against it, they don't want President Trump to have a legacy because then once it's finished, his legacy will always be on the White House. This is President Trump's project. President Trump spruced up this ballroom and created this for the American people, and now we can't forget. That's the other issue, David.
Well, we know for sure that this is going to be a beautiful ballroom.
Let me just say one last thing. Imagine Gavin Newsom. Could you imagine Gavin Newsom as president of the United States? I know. But imagine if he was president of the United States and had to hold an event in the Trump ballroom. I mean, come on. So anyhow, there's that.
All right, guys, we do have to change gears here. Did you see President Trump call out the big banks for refusing to bank certain Americans? Don't reward those big banks. Move your money to Old Glory Bank. Old Glory Bank serves customers in all 50 states with the best online banking for both consumer and business. Everything you can do at the big woke banks, you can do better at Old Glory Bank. Old Glory Bank has always been pro-freedom, pro-Second Amendment, and pro-crypto. Visit oldglorybank.com/RAV today and join the right side of banking. And joining us now is country music icon and the co-founder of Old Glory Bank, John Rich. John, I am so excited that you're here on the show with us. You know, over the weekend, I was in Nashville, got to see the Redneck Riviera, your bar on Broadway, and I must say it is the most patriotic, the absolute coolest. I am so thrilled that you're here with us this morning.
Well, thank you for coming by to visit. Did you notice the thousands of patches on the walls? It's basically wallpaper in my bar of fire, police, veterans, and active duty. I mean, it is incredible the amount of American heroes that come through the Redneck Riviera every single week.
We love to see it. Absolutely love to see it. Now, before we get to Old Glory Bank, we want to ask you more about this. You are making headlines like this. Can John Rich top the most popular country videos of the week? We want you at home to be the judges, so take a listen to The Devil and the TVA, a blistering critique of the Tennessee Valley Authority. Take a listen.
You don't own nothing when the government man comes around. Put those dirty old boots on the ground, laughs at your protest with a gun and a bulletproof vest. He don't care what you have to say, you're just gonna do it anyway. He'll smile and grin and then take your farm away. He'll tear it all to hell right in your face. Now the devil ain't got nothing on the TVA.
John, tell us more
and they'll raise
about
your
the
rates and won't tell you ever again. Oh, my bad. I just wanted to throw that in there. Yeah, I used to live in Memphis, and they raise my rates all the time. So you feel me, brother. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Emily.
I love it, Terrence. Love it.
All good. So the Tennessee Valley Authority was founded in 1933 by FDR, and he set it up to where they only answered to the President of the United States. So senators have no impact, governors have no impact, mayors, zoning boards, and definitely not the citizens. So in a little county called Cheatham County, Tennessee, which is where my brother has a farm, my dad has a little blueberry farm, and I actually have land in Cheatham County. The TVA decided to drop a 900 megawatt methane gas plant right in the middle of about 500 houses, 5 school districts, and the main water supply. And what really got me was I saw a video of an 88-year-old woman who's suffering from dementia. She's standing in her front yard, and the TVA comes pulling up with bulletproof vests, loaded weapons, about 10 cars deep. Now, who knew the TVA had a task force? I didn't. But the old lady's standing there saying, "What are you doing on my property?" She's had this farm in her family over 100 years. And she looked into the camera that the neighbor was holding up an iPhone and said, "You think you own something? You don't own nothing." And what she meant by that was you only own it as long as they say you can own it. And to me, that was so egregious and so anti-American and really stepped all over the Fourth Amendment that you can shove American citizens around like that. I decided it needed a song and we needed a spotlight on this. Since I took on the TVA with the people of Cheatham County, Secretary Rollins and the President of the United States both weighed in on the situation, and Cheatham County has now defeated the TVA and run them out of this county. However, they're across 7 states. So this is happening in other counties too, and I just thought it was important to wage that fight and put a spotlight on this story.
That's phenomenal, John. Hey, David Brody here. I mean, talk about being a change agent. I mean, that is powerful. So let me ask you about like Old Glory Bank, because that kind of plays into, country music and the heartland and changing this country. And I'm curious for you to tell us more about this Old Glory Bank that you are heavily involved with.
Well, if you don't like the system, you can yell at it all day long and nothing's going to change. But unless you do this right here, and you come at them on offense, you're never going to change anything. Old Glory Bank was established, and our credo is we'll never cancel you or punish you for exercising your constitutional rights. It was really born from watching Justin Trudeau shut down the trucker protest by freezing everyone's bank accounts. And then you come to America and you see Bank of America, for instance, debanking the President of the United States, Melania Trump. Then they turn over all of our information the second the Fed asks for it. You got to understand, banks are not owned by the federal government. They can stand there and say, "No, we're not turning over that information. No, we're not going to freeze those accounts." But they all play ball with the feds. So we thought we need a different alternative, a bank that stands alone, a bank that's owned by the people, by a bunch of patriots that would never act that way. Because down the road, I'm telling you, some wacko is going to get in the White House and they're going to start freezing bank accounts of people like me and people like you. And this is a firewall against that.
Yep.
I think there's a fair argument to be made that wackos have already been in the White House, but I'll just leave that alone. Do you see it as a calling to use your art and your resources to push back against institutions, to push back against injustice?
I think it's a responsibility. I spent the last 25, 30 years of my life making very big country music. And I have millions of people around the U.S. that know me for my music. But that's success. What I'm interested in now is significance. I want to take success and turn that into significance. I want to be able to battle on behalf of people who can't battle for themselves, like the people of Cheatham County, or like people that are being debanked and abused in banking institutions around the U.S. And because I do know the president, I do know a lot of the cabinet members, I do have them in my cell phone. When things are really bad, I can pick up the phone, I can make my case, and sometimes really make big changes. TVA made $13 billion in profits last year, and they're showing up on old ladies' properties with guns and bulletproof vests. This song is at the top of my X page right now at John Rich, the entire video, the download link. This is David and Goliath, modern day 2025.
Well, John, you are certainly making a huge difference and really inspiring a whole lot of change through all of your work. I mean, what don't you do? You're a country music legend. You run the business, the Redneck Riviera, and now you got a bank. I mean, what is coming up next for you?
Well, I have the right to pursue happiness, not the right
Love
to
it.
be happy. So I'm always looking for things I can do that I feel like elevate my life and have put meaning into what God has given me in my life. And TVA is one thing, Redneck Riviera is one thing, Old Glory Bank is another thing, and there are other things that I'm looking at as well that I think a guy like me could actually have impact. I'm not a politician. I'm a high school graduate. Okay, there's nothing fancy about me. I'm just an American, and I believe that we go on offense at this point. We bring the fight to the bad guys, and that is my intent.
John Rich, great to have you here today. We really appreciate everything you're doing. Where can people get more information about everything that you're doing? Because people want to get involved. They need to get involved.
Well, johnrich.com has all this stuff listed, but right now actively at John Rich on X at the very top, it's the pinned post. You'll see the entire video to The Devil in the TVA and the download link. I would urge you to go download that song, forward that to all your followers. Let's get the word out about this. I want to see TVA have to change their charter, change the way they have to operate since 1933. I think it's time for a change at the TVA.
Absolutely. John, I know we got to let you go, but I have to ask, did you find your ATV? I was keeping up with all of that on X. So tell us what happened.
Well, so somebody cut my chains, got into my property, and stole my stuff. And it's really not the stuff that I'm concerned about. I want to know who did it. You know, this happens to people all the time. I put the word out. We still have not found it. So maybe they follow me on X, whoever these thieves are, and they've decided they're just going to keep it. I don't know, but we'll see. I still hold out hope we'll find these bad guys eventually.
Yeah, I wish you the best of luck. It's the principle of it. That is so wrong. John Rich, thank you so much for being here today. Really, really loved our conversation.
Thanks,
yes, ma'am.
John.
Thank you.
Coming
Don't
up on
check
American
the TVA. I'm just saying.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, coming up on American Sunrise, it is time to spill some tea. In moments, find out why Meghan McCain is mocking left-wing climate activist Greta Thunberg and her new Shrek-inspired haircut. The details when American Sunrise continues.